better come in. It looks like you've got some suspension damage, so we'll have to have a look at it.
Suspension damage, you say? Suspension damage? Really? Hello gamers, welcome back to the Armbar Arcade. Welcome to our plays video on a game I've been looking forward to getting stuck into for quite some time. This, of course, is Project Cars 2. Now, just for a bit of a primer on this, I was quite the fan of the first Project Cars game, but not without some criticisms. That game had a weird sort of uncanny valley vibe in that, in many ways, it was amazing, and in many ways, it should have been the best racing game of all time, and yet some of the things it did wrong let the game down so badly that some people just gave up on it altogether. Like, it was so realistic and so well done that the really bad AI, the undrivable pad handling, some of the really bad bugs, in many ways it was great and it showed a lot of potential. So I was quietly excited for Project Cars 2 for that aspect, and I was actually lucky enough to get a preview of this at an early press event. I was actually working for Jinx TV reporting on the game, and I got to play an early build of this game, and it felt really good. I played it on some sim rigs with VR things, and it felt amazing. But more importantly, it felt a lot better on pad. As in, I could drive with a pad. With any luck, they'll have ironed out some of the pretty drastic creases from the first game, and we will get the greatest racing game of all time that we were promised first time around. So let's dive straight into it. I've decided what I'm going to do is simulate what you're given right when you first put the disc in the console, which it does that thing of like, it's installing, but you can play it already with what's already installed, which it turns out is one car, which is that, and you are given this track to start with, which is a Long Beach street circuit. I maybe would have picked a slightly more forgiving first track, but never mind. 15 to start. What if we just keep going up? And keep going up, and... yeah, how about 31? How about twice as many? And we're starting last. I can think of absolutely no ways this will go wrong. Let's bring the noise! Here we go, we're on the starting grid here at the legendary Long Beach street circuit, alongside 31 other McLaren 720S. And it's go, go, go! We are, oh my god. I have set assist to authentic, which is whatever the actual car that I'm racing comes with by default. And, oh my god. Well, the AI still acts kind of like lemmings off the start, given they all just randomly stopped in the middle of a flat-out straight. It's not a straightaway. In fact, no, we are in America, so it is a straightaway. It is a straightaway. We have to have that clarified. Straightaway is an Americanism. But we are in America, so this is a straightaway, so that's fine. Anyway, round the outside of the first... oh, God, at the first turn. Oh, God, and now we're going through the fountain section, which is narrow and... do you want to get a move on, mate? Long Beach, great track though it is, possibly not the first track you want to be driving in this game. This game is intended for the hardcore sim racers already. As such, it is basically not very easy at all to drive. It's very hard to pick up and play, and I will get into that as I manage to crash in a Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's not very easy to pick up and play, given that I'm having a hard time driving in a straight line. Long Beach is an amazing track, don't get me wrong, it was awesome. And I'm glad to see it in this game, but my god. Oh my god. Also, maybe a car with some actual brakes would have helped. Oh Christ, the final hairpin. Excuse me, sorry, pardon me. But that's sort of how you pass people at Long Beach. Excuse me, pardon me, I'm just going to barge in front of you. Anyway, terribly sorry, I'm very British, I'm not very good at that. There's the third person camera, which, because my right stick on my controller is kind of balked, it means I keep looking upwards, so I'm trying to drive in GTA 1 bird's eye view camera, and it's not gone well. That has not gone well. Let's just switch back to onboard. Let's just, oh dear, I've got a lot of damage. I've got a lot, oh my god. My windscreen's broken. This track is unforgiving enough when you've got a fully working car, and I really don't. Oh god, that guy behind me is mad because I've destroyed the front of his very expensive McLaren. If it makes you feel any better, mate, the front of my and the rear of mine's pretty destroyed as well. Why can I not go in a straight line down this? Oh my god. What is going... oh my... and you just get out of my way, you blithering idiot. I've just started a feud with this guy. We are now completely lost. So, and we're straight into a wall. And, yeah, I don't think this has gone terribly well.
You better come in. It looks like you've got some suspension damage, so we'll have to have a look at it.
Suspension damage, you say? Suspension damage? Really? You just haven't noticed all the rest of the damage then? Actually, I think my car's okay. Don't know what you're talking about. So, yeah, you know I said how this game isn't very easy to just pick up and play. Yeah, I think that first race was quite an apt demonstration of that. So we're just going to go over to here, to the options menu. And, where's the assists? I'm just going to put that to full. Full for now. Maybe visual only on the damage. Just for now. And maybe for now, let's find something in this extensive roster of very nice cars, I have to say, with slightly less horsepower and slightly more grip. What I'm going to pick next is the Renault Clio Cup car. Because my theory is they use the Renault Clio Cup in the British Touring Car Championship to train future touring car drivers. So let's see if it has the same effect on me. Let's go to Brands Hatch Indy. That's a classic British Touring Car track. Do we jack the aggression up? Yes, we're in the Clio Cup. Let's just keep going all the way up to there. That is quite realistic. Opponent skill level, mediocre. Opponent aggression level, maximum. Yes, this is accurate for a Renault Clio Cup race. Let's dive straight in. Let's see if a slight decrease in horsepower can help us actually complete a 3-lap race. Away we go! Oh my god, what are you doing? They also like to stop in random places. What are you doing? Get out of the way. Out of the way. Oh, that is nice. I have to say, I do like the cockpit cam. I like it more than this version, which is the one where you're actually inside the helmet of the driver. Because it does that thing where, there it is, it looks at the apex for you. But to me, that really kind of throws me off because it's not looking straight ahead. I prefer to just leave my eyes looking at the corner on screen rather than the whole screen tilting to look at the corner, if that makes sense. So I prefer this version. It is very nice. Very well done. The steering wheel is moving. There it is down there. Like I say, my right stick is somehow stuck in the up position. So as you saw with the third-person camera, it just moves all the way up. This is Project Cars GTA 1 edition. We're on lap 2 of 3, and I tell you what, the AI, we've sort of filtered out into our own little gap here. We're in 21st. Does anyone behind us fancy giving it a crack? We're miles behind the next guy in front, so see if we can try and catch up. Oh my god! Oh my god! Okay, let's not do that. I have to say, with all the assists on, the game suddenly becomes a lot easier to drive. And this is probably the setting I had it on when I drove it at that press event. Because the handling is very easy. It's much closer to Gran Turismo Sport now, but oh my god, except for the locking brakes, that's not something that's been made any easier. Oh god. Someone's getting up in my grills behind me. Who are you there, rot? You're an absolute rotter, and you're not taking the position away from me. For an AI that's set on maximum aggression, they haven't really displayed much of in this race. Which I don't mind, in a way, because it means they're actually driving like actual people. Because that was always my big beef with Gran Turismo Sport. I like the fact that they are a bit more aggressive and they will actually react more like humans. But they're just a bit slow and a bit rubbish and a bit silly. They'll just fall off. Whereas the Project Cars AI, this time around in my experience, been a lot more realistic. They've been fast, they've been aggressive, but not stupid. Anyway, finished 21st. Not too bad. We actually finished a race, which is amazing. I guess you will get that when you basically turn damage off and you turn all assists on. Anyway, we've completed our first race in Project Cars 2, guys. Let's move on. So now that we've actually been able to complete a race in this game, I know, a radical concept, now it's time maybe to have a look at some of the slightly more powerful cars in the game, i.e. all of them. I think what we'll look at now is a license that many people were very excited to see in this game. That would be those cars there. There were Indy cars in the past game, but they weren't licensed. This time around, though, they are. So we've got a choice here of the oval spec IndyCar or the road course spec IndyCar. And, well, I know they put on great races on road courses and ovals, so either one will be a success. But I think, to be honest with you, it'd be rude not to do a one-off race in an IndyCar and not do it at one track in particular, Knock Hill. No, I'm totally joking. Of course, it's Indy. So let's dive straight into it, shall we? Let's go! Oh, hang on. It's still set to standing start. So for the first time ever in Indy 500 history, there's a standing start, and the green flag has dropped. So we are underway on the outside of not Graham Rahal. We're back up behind two number 29s. This has got that Forza 6 thing of not all the paint schemes are quite in the game. Oh god, I've now run into... Oh, sorry! Just driven straight into someone straight off the bar. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my... Ow! Oh, this is not as... This just hasn't gone well in the slightest. Can't even see the front of my car. There it is. I've lost a wing already. One advantage. We're now turning so far to the left, I don't have to turn in the corners. There we go. It's doing all the turning for me. Fucking hell. Poo! Poo! Where am I going? Jesus Christ. I'm dying. I'm actually dying. I'm going to pass out of the wheel. I think it's... Oh my god. A lot of drifting. A lot of sliding. This is terrifying. I'm doing 190 miles an hour sideways. Tyres are... I don't care. The tyres are my least concern right now. Ow. Again. Anyway, let's see if we can at least finish this race. Come on. just finish the race. Consistency is what I'm aiming for at the moment. And we managed to do words. What was I trying to say there? I was trying to say I've actually done 2 clean turns in a row there. Let's see if we can make it a third. No. Eat it, Graham Rahal. I'm now dragging you down the back straight, and now we're coming up behind. It's not Sato anymore. Oh, God, I've been testing on my IndyCar knowledge. Was that Carlos Munoz? Or it was. Now it isn't. Oh, my God. Rahal's ramming into us. And he won't wipe us out off the final corner. We will do that for ourselves. But no, we're going to hang it together. Just about, and we are going to come home. We're not going to come home last, which is a miracle in itself. We're going to come home 27th, so the 4th from last. And we did most of that race without a front wing, so just get on my level. Everyone behind me, who was behind me in the end? What arseholes, but you 3 there, just absolutely get on my level. I managed to beat you with half of my car missing. I had no aero kit. Forget speedway or road course aero kit. I just had no aero kit altogether. I still beat you. Plebs. For now, let's go back to single race and tackle a class of car and a type of racing that I'm very happy is making an appearance in this game. It's one of my absolute favourites. Anyone who has watched my Dirt Rally and Dirt 4 series will know that I have previously described Rallycross as the most fun it is possible to have with your clothes on without being arrested. And guess what? It's come to Project Cars 2. And I actually gave it a go at that press event that I told you about earlier. Let's give it a go, shall we? Let's reunite with our car that we used in Dirt 4, the Ford Focus RSRX. And what track should we go for? A lot of the classics are here. Hell, I think Linden Hill's in the game as well. But I think what we're going to go for is we're going to go for a track that was not actually in Dirt 4, which is this one, the Daytona International Speedway Rallycross track. So, let's bring it on. Oh God, here we go. Now, this was terrifying enough in Dirt 4. What the fuck is it going to be like in this game? There's only one way to find out. Fight! I mean, drive! Oh, God. Oh, my God, turn 1's there, isn't it? Oh, God, there's not really much of a run to turn 1. This is actually the track I drove in the VR sim demo that I got at the press event. And up here, you'll find out exactly why I was feeling a bit car sick afterward. It was this jump right there. Oh, my God. And then down again. Oh, my God, there's another turn there. Some tyres. Whoa! He's a bit tired of me leaning on him like that. And now the track's going over here. Some cones. I found some cones. Fuck everything else. I'm off to destroy some cones. Oops. A bit of a crash there. I do love that in racing games when they do the whole contact with the wall, lap time invalid. Gran Turismo does that a lot as well. It's like, game, do you really think I gain an advantage by crashing? I think, oi, get out of the, oi, you git Smith, get out of my way. You're supposed to repass me. I am Tim Master of Rallycross. I am a former multiple times FI World Rallycross, yeah, I'm a Rallycross champion in Dirt 4 and Dirt Rally. Definitely not in this game. One of the things that did put me off Project Cars 1, and is still prevalent in Project Cars 2 but slightly less, is the fact that it is such a hardcore simulator that it is very hard to pick up and play. I mentioned that earlier in the video. It is tricky just to dive into a race in this game and have fun with it. I know a lot of friends of mine who are into racing and everything. They're car and racing fans and motorsport fans who find the Project Cars games very hard to dive into because it really does feel like, especially the first one, you definitely felt like you were being punished for trying to play with a pad. It's like, dude, the game's on console. You should be able to play it with a pad. Gran Turismo's handling is great on a pad. It doesn't stop you wanting to or encouraging you to use a wheel as well. Same with Forza. But this game's not like iRacing. iRacing knows that it's for the absolute hardcore purists who use like £1,000 sim racing rigs with full roll cages and things like that and are prepared to sink all that money into monthly subscriptions. And it's on PC, so that it knows this market. Project Cars can't do that. It's on a console as well, so I hate to sound like Royston, I'm catering to the casuals. But yeah, you kind of do have to cater to not a casual audience per se, but an audience who does just want to have fun with a racing game. You know what I mean? That's what we're here to do, to have fun. But I really felt like with the first Project Cars, you had to psych yourself up before every race. And to a degree, this game still feels like you need to train. You need to go on a training regimen in order to be half decent at it. But I think with all the extra customizable options, things like the difficulty slider, the aggression slider, things like the driving aids on. Since I put driving aids on, you'll have noticed that I've crashed a lot less. It's a lot easier to drive. So if you do want to have fun with this game, I'd encourage you to start with all assists on. And the game is fun from there, and then gradually you can turn things off. Or I like using the authentic setting, which basically simulates what the real car you're driving would have as driving aids anyway for the relevant series. So it's not, you don't just assume that the car won't have traction control. Maybe the series you're racing in does. So I kind of like that, and I think this game does a little bit of a better job at catering to people who just want to dive in and have some fun. And then and then cause some damage to their I've got no nose. Who knows what I'm doing with my life? Anyway, I finished last, so that was kind of embarrassing. I still feel like the game could probably do with a rewind function, simply because when you've got it on high damage and everything, one tiny mistake can end your entire race, and that's really, really annoying. So I don't see why you couldn't have an optional rewind function. Forza does, F1 does, Dirt does, Grid did. So I think that it would go well here, where the handling is often very unforgiving and you can make one tiny mistake and it's all over in a barrel of flames. The rewind function would go down well. But for now, let's dive into our final race of the video. So I'm feeling something a little bit special for the final race in this video. Let's just go into here and change the laps to time. Session duration, 25 minutes. If we just go over here and we scroll down to a little track in France called Le Mans. Yeah, we're going to go Le Mans racing. We're going to do a Le Mans 24 minutes, and we're going to do it in the awesome Ford GT-LM GTE. And then if we go down here, there's multi-class. So what we'll have here, we'll get rid of that. We'll just have LMP1. And what else is picked? No Rallycross in this race game. Although Rallycross cars at Le Mans would be kind of awesome now I think about it. But we'll have LMP1, LMP2, GTE, and GT3. And we will compete in the GTE class. So we'll be in the third class of 4. We're going to now try and do a race the way this game intended it to be played. Pretty hardcore, pretty simulation. I'm probably going to end up rage quitting by crashing on the very last lap. But here we go. Pray for me. It's time to do the Le Mans 25 minutes. So just before we get into the race, I'd like to explore one other little feature they've added for this game, which I personally very much appreciate as someone who has always sucked at editing and tweaking and making their own setups. The race engineer feature. I've been locking the brakes quite a lot, so I keep sliding when I'm braking. Okay, it sounds like you're locking the tyres under braking, which then causes the car to slide. Can you tell me where it's the front or rear wheels? Now, that's interesting. Front. So they are locking easily, decrease the brake pressure from 91 to 90%, or move the brake bias rearwards from 58.42 to 57.43. I think we're going to go with decreasing the brake pressure just a little bit, and then we go over here, gearing. I can't hit my top speed. Are you hitting or getting very near the rev limiter? Yes, I'm basically bouncing off it, so increase the final drive. There we go, a little bit more top speed, and there we go. It's really that easy. That is very useful. I appreciate that game. Thank you very much, even if it was just designed for me. Alright, here we go. We're on the starting grid. We're in cockpit cam for this race. Let's just take one more scroll around the cams. There's our beautiful Ford GT. It's probably not going to remain beautiful for very long, but it is time for us to do a job. And away we go. I've even turned off most of the HUD elements just for that added bit of realism. And away we go. The green flag has dropped and we're underway for the Le Mans 25 minutes. Oh god, that was a bit of a traffic jam there. The blind spots on these cars are massive when you use this view. You really don't appreciate. It's like during a race, it's easy for us to watch and maybe there's some contact or something and they go, what are you doing, you pleb? Can you not see him? And then you go in the cockpit view like this and you go, oh no, actually no, they probably couldn't see him. GT class is probably my favourite class in sports car racing. I've always enjoyed it the most. I love the prototypes, don't get me wrong, they're really cool. But GT racing's always been where it's at. I like the fact they're real cars or based on real cars. And some of my favourite race cars of all time have been in this class, and we're looking at it right now. The Corvette. Oh, the Corvette, man. That's why I was a Corvette fanboy for so long at Le Mans. And now, it's kind of, my heart is torn in two between the Corvette and the car that I'm driving now, the Ford GT. Oh, God. Corvette is dive-bombing an Aston Martin. We're up behind. We had to jump right on the brakes there. We braked a little bit early. We are okay. It is an endurance race. It's not a sprint. Although this is a 25-minute sprint, but you know what I mean. Still, you've got to get through the first lap. And with full damage back on, I should say, we've got to be careful here. This guy in the Aston is still side by side with us. We're going to clear him eventually thanks to a drive from the Corvette. So we're going to be intense to start. We do have some speed. I'll tell you what, race engineer, you've done a hell of a job with those changes. The car is great under braking, and my God, has it got some top speed. We're gassing around the outside of the Corvette. This is it. Ford versus Chevrolet. One of the greatest feuds, one of the greatest rivalries in motorsport history. And now it's going to be ruined because I'm stuck behind a BMW. Thanks for that. Oh, God, now he's... Oh, no! Oh, what are he doing? He's just sort of getting in both of our way. This absolute pleb. What are you doing there? I felt some contact but no damage. I think at the moment, let's just check, we are second in class. My God, so this BMW in front of us is the leader in our class. Good. And we are coming up behind, but I will just probably hang back because this corner is the mother of all terrifying, the mother of all poo, as is this one. I actually think the straightaway we've just... No, it's not a straightaway, Adam. This is in France. It's not a straightaway, it's a straight. The straight we've just been down is potentially more terrifying than the Mulsanne straight because it's so much narrower. Like, to me, it makes it that much more terrifying. Corvette's up the inside. We're going to have to give some room here. And just go straight over the rumble strips. Because fuck track limit. Oh, fuck track limits. I was considering turning track limits on, and then I realised how brutal the Project Cars games are with track limits. To the point they will penalise you for track limit infractions that you haven't even done. They will literally... They will see you looking and maybe considering running a millimetre wide. And then, see, that would have been a track limit penalty had I had penalties on. Oh, God. Oh, nope, run a bit wide there. Still the top three's all together. Actually, the whole class is still together. They're going side by side in front of us. You know what we're going to do? We're just going to sit behind and draft both of them. A double draft.
Come on, let's make this happen.
That's exactly what I'm trying to do, race engineer. I mean, I like the changes you made to the car. We're going to go 3 wide. We're going to go 3 wide. 3 wide mostly. We're in front of the Corvette. We are. And then we get on brakes at just the right time. Oh, car's a bit unsettled there, but yes. Yes. Yes, Queen Ford. Darkness falls across Le Sarthe. The midnight hour is close at hand. Corvettes were in their search of Fords to terrorize yours Mulsanne. That's actually quite terrifying. Uh-oh, he's going to try and go back up the inside. Oh my, excuse me. Right, okay. I know Chevrolet versus Ford is the blood feud of motorsport, especially in Australia. Holden versus Ford is like more important than family over there. Like, families have been ripped asunder over what car their firstborn son comes home with when they pass their driving test. It's like, oh, son, you got your first car. What is it? A Ford. Get out. What? Why, Dad? I'm your son. You brought home a Ford, son. This is a Holden house. You know how this goes. Anyway, the Corvette's back in the lead. This is quite a good little battle here. Very realistic as well. Corvette versus Ford at Le Mans. That's basically been the pattern the last few years, with Aston Martin thrown in. We haven't quite got the Aston Martin at the moment. Any of you guys back there want to join in? The field is still so close, though, I've got to say. And that is very cool. And again, very realistic. Very exciting. This straight is just full of poo. Full of my poo from the... Oh, my God. That corner just always just gets the car a little bit light and skittish, and it just feels like it could just snap sideways and off at 1,000,000 miles an hour into the nearest Armco barrier in flames any moment. This is just really hard braking, and we're just tailgating the fuck out of the Corvette. No, we're going to be too far back for a dive bomb here into the final chicanes. And it is Corvette leading forward at Le Mans after 2 laps are completed. Let's have a look on the HUD. We have now got 1 point of damage on the front of the car. Not much at all. Passing this Corvette, under braking for the first Mulsanne chicane. Oh, we've left it a bit late, though. Left it a bit late. Come on. Oh, God. Oh, a cone. A cone has gone flying. We've made the pass. Just about. Just about. Weirdly enough, though, that Corvette is starting to fade back a little bit. But, this is the way real GTE races go, and the real races go at Le Mans. Like, they sort of really fluctuate. It's like every car's tied together with a bit of elastic band. Like, they'll stretch out a little bit, and you're like, oh, no, now there's a gap, and then it'll suddenly be like, ping, no, it's straight back together again. The reason why this straight is more terrifying than the Mulsanne is look how narrow it is, and it's got blind corners on it, and now this guy's trying to go side by side with us, and now it's got this corner, which is just poo for days. Yeah, you can have the lead back for now. This is like a game of musical chairs. Oh, my God. Oh, some poo. Some poo may have just exited multiple ani there. Locked up under braking and nearly ran straight into... Oh, God. Are you trying to brake check me, Mr. Corvette man? I see you there. I'm also hearing the throaty, godlike roar of the Corvette's V8. It's just a sonic thunder of which the world was just not ever prepared for and still doesn't quite know how to deal with now. Certainly my loins don't know how to deal with it. But anyway, we can't be distracted by how pretty the car in front of us is and how beautifully it sounds. It is still our main rival, and we still have to defeat it for honour. We are representing the blue brand. We are representing Team SmackDown, Team Ford Performance Racing. This is literally going to be a game of musical chairs. It is going to depend on which one of us is in front when the music stops. And the music is still some way away from stopping. Fancy the move there, but we'll just set up to draft him out of this corner. We'll get the position back here. Hopefully, it is going to be a side-by-side drag race. Just flip to the external camera. Oh, look at this. Oh, God. It was a bit close. I'm now having to use the right stick to control the camera because otherwise it goes into bird's eye view mode. Look at this. Chevy and Ford side by side, drag racing down the Mulsanne Straight of Le Mans as the sun slowly rises over the French countryside. It does not get more evocative than this. I'm not being funny, there is another reason why I'm not racing with the HUD at the moment. You might be thinking like, he's all being like hardcore simulation-y. But at the same time, I seem to drive a lot better with the HUD off. I think it's because I'm not focused on my lap times, I'm not focused on the constant little timer at the top going, you were 0.3 tenths per second slower that sector, that lap, and then I suddenly start to put myself under pressure and things like that, and I keep looking up all these different numbers, and it's like an information overload. So maybe if I just turn all that off and just focus on driving, you know, the kind of important part in a motor race, I definitely noticed I'm driving better. I'm going to need to drive even better than I have been to beat this guy. I'm going up alongside again. It's too exciting for words. We are going to be side by side down into Mulsanne corner. Oh, but he's later on the brakes. Oh my god. Fair play, sir. You win this round. Do we dare try and pass down here at Arnage? Do we? Do we? Do we? Do we? God, poo. More poo. More poo. More poo, but it's worked. Oh, but we've run wide. Yeah, he's got back to bogger. Things are getting a little bit tense. Just calm down a little bit, AJ. Calm down a little bit. Listen to your steering wheel and take a drink. Although it's in a mug of tea, which I can't really... It's not a drinks bottle. I haven't just got a straw in my mouth. I've got a mug of tea in the cup holder on the dashboard somewhere over there. My mace is not spilled everywhere, to be honest. So I'm going to have to wait maybe for the front straight to have a sip. But we've got a good run there. Can we set up a move into the final chicane? Looks like we will. We're going to try. We're going to try. Come on. He's realised that. He's defending accordingly. I think we're going to be a little bit too far back. Oh, we were side by side. We're going to have to see the position that time. If it was the last lap, we may have wheel banged. Right, we're onto the front straight once more. And I will try and take a sip of tea. Come on, straighten up. There we go. This is a bit anxious. Oh, fuck! That was a mistake! That wasn't... No! No! Come... No! Oh, there we go. Saved it. Saved it. Some tea got spilled there. Why didn't I just have a regular water bottle? Why did I insist on having a mug of tea in the car? I am that British, and it may have cost me the race. Come on, let's focus. We've got some work to do to catch up with the Corvette. I know we can do it. I know we can do it. We're very fast. Right, come on. There we go. That was a good corner. Good corner, man. Good corner. Right, come on, into Mulsanne. Oh, late on the brakes. Late on the brakes. And then get it turned in. There we go. There we go. He's still there. We can see him. We can see him. This is going to be so tense. The sweat is real. Just going to have to be brave. Be brave. Be brave. Be brave. There we go. Brave Adam. Brave Adam. This is like when you go and get your blood tested. Or you go to the dentist. Yes, brave Adam. Brave Adam. I'm going to give myself a lollipop after the race. I do like the fact that in this game there's no rubber banding whatsoever. I like the fact that the game still finds ways to close up the AI for you. Like, it'll have AI have their own crashes, and sometimes they'll pit with mechanical issues. So it finds ways to close up the field for you without resorting to rubber banding. And I think, you know, if you're doing an accurate simulation game, then rubber banding is just not really a thing you do in it, because it's totally unrealistic. Why would other people in a motor race slow down to let someone else back on the lead lap? That really annoyed me in NASCAR Heat Evolution. I was like, why are you doing this? It just feels really condescending. That Corvette is certainly not slowing down for us. We, whisper it quietly, I think we gained a little bit on that lap. Oh, we are gaining a little bit. We are so good under braking. This Ford handles like an absolute dream, and we're going to need everything it's got to give. A car that sacrilegiously has a V6 in it, but I kind of like the fact it has a V6 in it, because it makes sense. I know I was one of the people that was kind of butthurt when the Ford GT was announced and it had a V6 in it, because obviously I love V8s. I was like, why is it not a V8? And then I realised that the original Ford GT40 had a V8 in it because the whole point of it was Ford wanted to go to Le Mans and beat Ferrari with a truck engine, which is basically what it was. It was a pickup truck engine, and now this V6 is basically a glorified version of the Ford EcoBoost engine that you see in Ford Focuses, and right now it is providing enough speed and power to defeat the 7-litre V8 Fury of the Corvette. We're drafting up alongside, going down is the first Mulsanne chicane. Yes, we got the lead back. Oh, will we cut the corner up? No, no, the cone's gone flying. Do we dare take another sip of tea? I think we just can't get it straight. There we go.
That's your
Right.
first sector so far. Great job.
There we go. I'd love to be that Corvette driver right now, drafting past for the lead, and he looks over at me and I'm sipping tea at 160 miles an hour. It is literally just us two now as well. I mean, in fact, how the hell are we up to 10th place? Holy shit. Oh no. Oh no, I know what's happened. Some LMP2s have had to pit, and now they're going to be coming up behind us. Oh no. It will be a battle for position. We won't be obligated to let them by. So I'm not letting him through. They're only going to get in the way. I doubt the Corvette is going to be in a similarly forgiving mood. No, you can keep the position. You can keep the position. That was bad late braking. Had I can follow through with that move, we'd have both wiped out clean into... No, Southern France. It's happened again.
1 minute to go.
Oh, that was so close. Right, 1 minute to go. I don't know if this is the last lap. It might be. And now the Corvette's legging it. Come back. Come on, come on, come on. Everything you have, Ford. Everything you have. This epic battle is going to go all the way to the wire. Hopefully. Come on. We are so good in the corners. We are so good in the corners. The aero on this car is absolutely monstrous. Oh, no. Bump. Little bump and run there. The counter has hit 0, but the LMP1s have not passed the finish line to finish the race yet, so we will go one more lap. One more lap around. Here we go. Oh, strap yourselves in, mother truckers. It's about to go off. I've always been kind of Ford loyal. You know, I like some Chevrolets, I like Dodges and Mopars. But if I really had to come down on the divide, I'd have to say I bleed blue. Oh! I'm up the inside of the Chevy. Got the inside, come on, yes! Oh, run wide! Oh, ow, my balls! Just ran wide over the rumble strips. But we're back in the lead. Just parking in the middle, parking in the middle. Here comes the Corvette, he's gonna go draft by. Oh, we're running it. Oh, we nearly run him into the grass. Ooh, I would have given him room earlier. I would have been a little bit more sporting, but not now. Oh god, now we got this LMP2 in on the mix. And he is battling for position. So to be honest with you, if you want to go by, mate, just go. Just don't get in my way, whatever you do. But here's the annoying thing, the LMP2s actually don't have very good top-end speed. They're very good at handling. They're like a better version of this car. The aero is amazing, but they don't have great top end. So he's barely gonna... Oh no, no, he's gonna get in our way. He's gonna get in our way. Sorry. No. No. Oh, with bang wheels. Get out the way. You absolute peanut. This is not your war. And now we're gonna get a draft off the LMP2. The LMP2 could come into play and actually favour us here. Oh my god, what a topsy-turvy race this has been. And we've still got half a lap to go of it as well. You know, now we're drafting. Now we're drafting. I don't want to go side by side to the next corner, but I'm gonna have to. Right, get away. No, don't get him away. Oh my god, there he is. He's still there. This is so tense. This is so sweaty. Clowns to the front of me. Jokers to the behind. Here I am stuck in the middle with... Oh my god. Stuck in the middle with God. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Is he going to try the move I've tried a few laps ago? No. Don't play the LMP2. Oh, get out the... No. Oh, get out the way. What are you doing? I'm just going to have to dive bomb you. Dive bomb city. I don't care. Fuck your blue flags. He's getting him away. And that could be the race-winning move. I'm now going running interference on the Corvette in second place. But he's going to try and come back by on this straight. I'll just go. Just go. Just let off the throttle for a split second. Now the Corvette's going to try and coming through. Oh my god, my heart is genuinely pounding right now. This is how I know this is a good racing game. When it makes you feel like this. And we put a little bit of distance between ourselves and the Corvette. Is that enough? Isn't enough? Have we done enough? It's not going to be... Oh no! Oh, we ran wide of the final corner. Just a last bit of tension, but we're going to come across the line and take victory. Oh, grimy, mud-splattered Ford has triumphed in the eternal war between red versus blue, or in this case, yellow versus blue. Blue has come out triumphant. Look how close our fastest laps were. Both 4 minutes 0.7. His was actually a 4 minute 07.1000. Another 0. He's actually broken the timing screen. And Andrea Fabrice in the Aston Martin finishes distant third in the end. That will do it for our Armbar Arcade Plays video on Project Cars 2. Ultimately, a very hardcore game, for better and for worse. But I think what it does better than Project Cars 1, it's still a little bit buggy in places, it still has a couple of issues here and there, but I think the main thing they've improved on from the first Project Cars is they've made it that little bit more accessible. It's a little bit easier just to pick up and play this game and have fun. And it's amazing what they'll do for you, because now I'm motivated to keep playing this game and get better and gradually, you know, ease into more realistic elements, take some of the assists off, do that sort of thing. And that's how you hook players into the game. I think Project Cars 1 was so inaccessible, particularly where it was so terrible to drive on a pad. People just gave up on it. They were like, bollocks to this, I'm never going to get good enough to enjoy this game. It was the ultimate you suck, get good. This game is makes a few more concessions to people who aren't quite like the god tier sim racers of the world, and I appreciate that because it means I love this game a hell of a lot more than the first one. I already thought the first one was good, but I kind of respected how good it was. This, I can actually love how good it is. Still not perfect, but Slightly Mad, you've mostly knocked it out of the park with this one, I'll tell you what, and that was so much fun. So leave in the comments down below the game that you enjoyed enough to get good at. It's kind of a variation on what Nay asked in the Richard Burns Rally video, you know, where he has games that he enjoys but he's terrible at. We all have them. We all have them. For me, it was Football Manager. I sucked at Football Manager, even though I kind of enjoyed it. I don't know what I was doing wrong. I would make one tactical change, i.e. put a striker up front, and half the team would hand in transfer requests. I'm like, what? What's going on? But in this, I want you to tell me your favourite games that you've been motivated to get better at. You've loved it so much, you've kept playing, you've really practiced, and you've ended up getting pretty good at it to a level you're happy with. This will kind of be my example, and a lot of driving games of that ilk, to be honest with you. And in the meantime, give this video a big old thumbs up if you have enjoyed it. Mash that big red button over there to see more videos on this channel. And we'll see you guys next time out in the Armbar Arcade.